Now to the other big story this morning. Brady is back in the Super Bowl. For the 10th time in his career, Tom Brady is headed to the championship game.
The NFL's elder statesman is facing off against one of the youngest in the league, 25-year-old Kansas City superstar Patrick Mahomes, who took the Chiefs to victory at last year's Super Bowl.
Touchdown!
And get this, when Brady won his first Super Bowl in 2002, Mahomes was just 6 years old.
Tom Brady has obviously smashed all kinds of records. He becomes the oldest Super Bowl quarterback in history at 43, surpassing Tom Brady 2 years ago at 41.
Okay, no. Hell no. Tom Brady is immune from aging. How is he still winning at 43? What is his secret? I'm only 36, and all my Google searches are like, hips make clicking sound when I walk, am I dying? But it kind of makes sense. I mean, every sport has to have the one old guy. All of them. Even when you play pickup basketball, there's always that one guy with the gray hair and the Hard Rock Cafe t-shirt who shows you flames. You spend the rest of the game debating if he's actually John Stockton or not. That guy's at every court. But still, it is not fair that Tom Brady is this good and this handsome. He's going to be in his 10th Super Bowl and he looks like this? No! That's why I'm starting a Kickstarter today, to pay for him to get plastic surgery to look like this. It's only fair, people. I mean, think about it. The opposing quarterback in this Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes, was 6 years old when Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl. Being good for that long must change how you interact with kids. Tom Brady will see his friend's baby and just start trash talking it. Oh, if you think you're crying now, just wait until I whip your ass in 20 years. But let's move on now to the big news out of Russia. You know, the country that's currently watching you through your computer camera. Last week, opposition leader Alexei Navalny returned to the country, where he was immediately thrown in jail by Vladimir Putin's police. But what Putin might not have expected is this response.
Massive crowds gathered in cities across Russia on Saturday, demanding opposition leader Alexei Navalny be released from jail.
These were some of the biggest demonstrations in Russia in years.
Protests swept across Russia's 11 time zones, taking place in 90 cities. In the capital, Moscow, an estimated 15,000 demonstrators gathered in the city center, clashing with police.
Police in Moscow started making arrests even before the demonstrators started protesting. More than 1,000 people were detained in the Russian capital alone, organizers say. 3,000 they claim nationwide.
Police with batons rushed through crowds of Navalny supporters who braved temperatures as low as minus 58 degrees. Some of the officers were seen beating the protesters. Some demonstrators fought back, including these people who bombarded a group of riot police with snowballs in Moscow.
Wow. Nationwide protests across 11 time zones against Putin. That's inspiring. Guys, can we agree on something? Anybody who protests in negative 58-degree weather should have their demands heard. The problem is that protests can get out of hand quickly when it's that cold. Because people will be like, let's burn down that store. Why, comrade, to protest Putin? No, bitch, for heat. But seriously though, props to all of those protesters. Because they're putting a lot of pressure on Vladimir Putin. And I mean real pressure, not Kylie Jenner's shower pressure. These protesters are widespread enough that Putin can't just laugh them off. And yes, that's partly because Putin isn't sure of how to laugh. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, start with smile, then see how I go. And in many ways, Russia is just catching up with the mood of the moment. I mean, this has been a huge year for protests around the world. America saw the largest protests in its history against police brutality. We saw SARS protests in Nigeria, Iraqis in the streets against corruption. Now, the Russian people. If you have a cause that you want to fight for, this is the year to do it. People are amped up, baby. Start a movement. Yo! Single-ply toilet paper! Yeah! Yeah! You see that? The people are ready to go. We're using our hands. No? Oh, you thought I meant... No.